Good morning, everybody. Welcome to something I haven't done in a long time. We're doing a baking video today, and not just any baking video. We're going to check out to see if you can make good artisan bread using a gas barbecue grill to bake it. It should be interesting. We had great success with the pizza. You check the description box down below. It came out wonderfully. 2 cups of lukewarm water, half a teaspoon of yeast, teaspoon of sugar, a couple tablespoons of olive oil, and 3.5 cups of bread flour. Okay, I'm going to knead her up. I'll keep kneading her. She's been kneading a while. We want to remove all stickiness. Meanwhile, we'll get it in the rising bowl. There's a nice dough ball formed. Not sticky at all. We're going to go ahead and cover that with the plastic and let that rise. And after it rises one time, we're going to punch it down, reform it into the ball, and then we're going to refrigerate it for a very slow rise. That way it won't use the yeast. It'll allow the yeast to be dormant for a while and then come to life when we take it out to bake it tonight. Show you the barbecue grill we're going to be using. Pull that back into the shade a little bit for a better view. This is the Master Forge. It's old. I replaced the propane tubes in it, but it did an excellent job. I know it's been through the wars, but I prefer to call it well seasoned. And there's our baking stone, and it's really critical to your success that you have a baking stone. You're going to be putting the bread on here when this thing gets up to 450 degrees. Closing the, opening the lid, putting that in on the baking stone. We're going to let that heat up for about 20 minutes, and we should be gold. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and punch that down. We're going to turn that out. Pinch the ends of that. Roll that a little bit. Tuck in the end there and pinch it. And have a nice, like that right there. Sit that right on there. We're going to cover that with plastic. It's nice and cold. It's going to rise good. And we're going to let that rise for about an hour or so. Okay? Right there. All right. We'll set a timer for an hour. Minutes. And we will let that begin to rise. What I'm doing here tucks that in and it expands. It expands it beautifully, just like that. All right. How wonderful is that? Now I'm going to take the knife. Normally you would use what's called a lame, which is a razor blade on the end of a stick, which is what they use in French.
You said you were going to disassociate with those times and not depend on Russian gas. So I think our president has a balls of implication. Kind of is a declaration of war.
All right, there we go across the top there, okay? And that's going to expand as it rises. All right. That's the way we do it up. Okay. We're going to give this our initial brush with the egg wash here. Ridiculous lights. Okay. That's expanding real good. I'm going to give it its initial blast of egg wash. This should give it a nice looking finish on the outside of it. Probably brush one more time before she's done baking in there. Okay. Looking good, and then we'll spray that with a little bit of water too with an atomizer to keep that nice and moist. And that keeps the crust from setting for a while. Very important. We want to slow that as much as possible.
He did send 210 something anti.
No butter.
He said we will send you more because they said we want more.
That's a beaten egg.
I cannot do it unless you help me.
Okay, so I think about 5 more minutes we're going to throw it in. Let's go ahead and pop the bread in. Here we go. Let's go over and check the temperature. We're running just about 500 degrees, which is great. We're going to give this one more going over here. That's wonderful. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and sit this on the side here. There, make sure that's good and stable. Go ahead and get this. We're going to give that a good spray. That looks beautiful. Come on, baby. Spray out. There we go.
I made 10. It was 12, but I lost my wallet, my ID.
Okay, in she goes. And we're going to go for an initial 15 minutes in there. All right, guys. Well, it's been about 12 minutes. We're going to take a quick initial look to see how the bread looks. Oh, look at how that's starting to look. Oh, woo! Here we go. We're checking our bread in the barbecue grill. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Pick that up. We're going to shift position, lower the heat. Look at that. Wow, does that look good? Now we're going to lower the heat a little bit. Let me do that now. We're going to lower that. And we're just going to let that finish out there. Look at how good that looks. Wow. Wow. So we're going to knock that down for about 15 more minutes. Check it out. Blackbird.
Oh, very nice. Wow.
And there it is, guys. What a beautiful, beautiful loaf. Look at that.
Breads, right? They say get up on horse and break.
Should have plenty big holes in it.
Like we've all fucked up and shit. We get back up on the horse.
Main event here, the slice and dice. Oh yes. Look at that, they're hot, delicious. Take our first big slice. Oh yes. We're having a real feast. Thanks for watching, guys. You can make great bread, artisan bread, on a gas barbecue grill.